The number one biggest mistake that people make with their eating when they start taking GLP-1 drugs, we're going to reveal that in this episode. So guys, get ready. Let's talk about it.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
One of the biggest nutrition mistakes that people make when they start taking GLP-1 drugs is they simply stop eating enough. And here's how this could happen, right? When your appetite drops dramatically, you start feeling full faster. Sometimes you just start skipping meals entirely. And intermittent fasting has its place, and it's great for the right person and when it's used in the right way as the right tool. But skipping meals, usually it sounds like a good thing for weight loss, but it can create brand new problems. So today, we're going to talk about how to eat properly when your appetite is suppressed. So I want to kick this off by talking to you guys. Again, this is part 3 of our series on taking GLP-1s for weight loss and how to eat when appetite is suppressed. We're going to start by talking about why eating too little can backfire for you. So when calorie intake drops very low, several things fairly predictably happen in the body. Muscle loss increases, your energy levels drop, your workout performance declines because overall your nutrition intake, your intake of vitamins, minerals, nutrients, actual fuel is inadequate for what you need. See, rapid weight loss often leads to loss of lean muscle mass, lean muscle tissue, especially if your protein intake is low. So weight loss can be relatively easy when you're barely eating, but the goal is losing fat while staying healthy. Your body, this is important mental reframe, your body still needs fuel even if your hunger signals are quieter than they used to be. So that's the first thing to keep in mind. The second thing to keep in mind is that protein now becomes the priority for you. This might be the most important nutrition point for people starting a GLP-1 drug journey. Protein matters because it helps you to preserve your muscle mass and it supports your metabolism both directly and indirectly. It improves your sense of satiety, but in a natural way, and it helps you to recover from exercise faster. Most people unintentionally undereat protein because they're eating smaller meals, they're skipping meals, they snack instead of eating balanced meals. So as a practical step, as a practical piece of advice for you guys, prioritize protein at every meal. What that looks like for me is with every meal that I have some dedicated source of protein, and I always eat that first. Might be eggs, might be ground beef, maybe chicken, maybe fish, whatever it is for you. It could even be like, depending on your preferences, it might be Greek yogurt. It might be, venison, cottage cheese, protein shakes if there's no way you can fit a solid food meal in. But hammering the protein first, leading with that at each meal, and then going to the vegetable carbohydrates, the dietary fats after that is a winning strategy for basically everyone, but most especially the GLP-1 drug taking community. Guys, remember, when your appetite is low, every bite matters, and you have to prioritize the nutrients and the protein that you need to protect your body. Let's talk about my next point, small meals that are nutrient dense. Because when you're taking GLP-1 drugs, your stomach emptying is slower. Large meals can feel uncomfortable. So a better strategy for most of your GLP-1 users is taking smaller meals with very nutrient dense foods and balanced macros. I have to call this to your attention. This is different than eating a meal that has low calories. Those are different things. Having a meal that's smaller but nutrient dense, foods that are whole foods, real foods, foods that have vitamins and minerals and nutrients and nutrition value, that have energy and fuel for you, not just low calorie, because low calorie often does not translate to healthy, vibrant, energetic, but taking in real foods that have real value, real return on investment. You might think of it like a balanced meal is something that has protein, something that has fiber, something that has healthy fats in it, because you need all of these to function in a healthy way. Depending on your style, this could be eggs with avocado and vegetables, could be a chicken salad with vegetables mixed in and some balsamic vinaigrette, or some sort of vinegar, oil and vinegar seasoning. Could be Greek yogurt plus berries plus nuts. Could be a protein smoothie with protein powder in it. These are all just ideas and examples. Could be, depending on the time of year, could be a chili made with ground beef or with bison beef with a whole bunch of vegetables mixed in. Could be a crock pot meal that's got your pulled pork and then carrots and celery and other veggies mixed into this stew. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. But here's the point to remember. When your appetite is suppressed, the goal is not necessarily eating less food. It's eating smarter foods, better foods in small or smaller quantities. That's my next point, small meals that are nutrient dense. Let's now go to my second to last point, hydration and electrolytes. So GLP-1 medications often lead to, and you guys need to make a note of this, reduced thirst, reduced food intake, and potential dehydration. So here's some signs, some symptoms, I should say, you may experience if this is affecting you. Relative fatigue, increase in the incidence or severity of headaches, or incidence or increase in the incidence or severity of dizziness are all signs you may be dehydrated because you're not drinking enough water. I consider it a valuable point to drink water consistently, to have water with you throughout the day, perhaps create some daily sub goals. Like what I'll do is I'll have one of these, I'm holding up my water bottle right now. I'll have one of these completely in the morning before I go to the gym. I'll have one complete bottle of this at the gym before I leave the gym. That's my second one of these. I'll have a third one by shortly after lunch or mid-afternoon, and a fourth one by the time I get through dinner. That gets me roughly close to a gallon of water a day, but it ensures that I stay hydrated, which is so massively important. Asterisk, I'm not taking GLP-1 drugs or any drugs at all for that matter, but it's still just a good general principle for all of us as healthy people to have water on standby and be drinking it throughout the day. But it's doubly important for anybody who's on a drug that is an appetite and potentially a thirst suppressant. So keep that in mind. So that brings us to my final point. I'm taking a shot of water as I go into this. Avoiding the snack food trap. A common pattern we see. People eat very little during the day, but they graze on crackers or chips or other processed snacks that live forever unchanged in small bags or small boxes. And this is a problem because these daytime snacks are effectively the definition of empty calories. They don't give you protein. They don't give you nutrients. They're very easy to overeat because they aren't filling. They don't give you satiety. They don't give you energy and nourishment for your muscles, your joints, your tendons, for fuel for your mind. They're just tasty calories. And if your appetite is low, Snack foods can easily begin to replace full, real, balanced meals, and that leads to poor nutrition. You're literally malnourished if you're eating crackers, chips, and processed snacks throughout the day. So, a better approach is to build simple, structured meals. Guys, when your appetite is suppressed, let's recap what you need to know. First, prioritize protein. Second, eat meals with real nutrient-dense foods. Avoid replacing actual meals with processed crap snack foods, and stay hydrated. See, GLP-1 medications can reduce hunger, but they don't reduce your body's need for real nourishment. The people who succeed long term with these medications are not just eating less, they're eating intentionally and strategically. We hope that you do too. But tell us in the comments below what your thoughts, your takeaways are from this message, and let's keep the conversation going. For now, I thank you for the gift of your time and your attention. We'll see you in the next one, guys.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more useful tools and guidance, go to CrossFitEdwardsville.com and feel free to like, share, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment sections down below. See you in the next episode.